we're going to let's talk about Rusalka. I mentioned this yesterday on where are we? Where did I put it? That one? Nope. Is it that one? All right, so it's Mermaid. English translation is Mermaid, Lake of the Dead. However, right, as I mentioned yesterday, right, on as I mentioned yesterday on the podcast with KR from Critical Blast, right, that it's a better translation, and this is only because somebody commented on there. It's a better translation, right? Let me just tell you the plot of it. So it's Rusalka Oziro Mayo Tuk, maybe, but it's Slavic, right? So it's drama, fantasy, horror, right, and supernatural, I'd say, because yeah, it's got a lot of. It's really, really good. I gave it a 7 out of 10, right? So I want to read you a descriptor from our, let me get here, trailers, right? So hopefully I don't get dinged for playing this trailer, right? Because let's have a watch the trailer. Oops. And then we can talk about it. And I'll just watch do a little bit of it, because I don't want to get banged up here by YouTube. Just kind of sad, but
they used to believe that if you go walking by a lake at night, the mermaid will get you. Do you love me?
right. So let's leave it with that. So what it's that one. Okay. So here's a description I put up for it, right? So this is taken by the person I quoted, and I also gave them credit because I think that's important. So so Rusalka is a better translation, Lake of the Dead, because Rusalka's as a Slavic mythology, tale, right? As character from mythology for the Slavic Russian people, right? So the thing here is so here's how it goes. Okay, so it should be batch, but right. So okay, so this came out in 2018, but I think it got released in about 2019, 2020. Marina is engaged with Roma, right? A competitive swimmer. And that's a pretty cool thing. Like, I mean, there's this really cool, like I was thinking, this is a bit weird when it started, but then it was like, oh, this is really cool. So it starts with the incident and then it carries on with the swimming, right? So Roma and her sister Olga lost their mother at an early age, right? So Roma's the brother, and supposedly to drowning. But as you see in the opening scene, she was actually killed by a Rusalka at the lakeside dacha summer house. So you get that straight away, right? So, and you go, well, they basically gave it away, right? But here's a cool thing. That's just that, you get that the first 5 minutes, 3 minutes, right? So now the widowed father who has had at best a distant relationship with his children ever since, unexpectedly gives a dacha, summer house, to Roma and Marina, who's his fiancée, as a Roma's fiancée who's about to get married to her, right? And so, and she, there's a really cool thing, like interaction between them and stuff, and you kind of, it's really, it's kind of like, it's really worth watching, right? I recommend it. It's like I gave 7 out of 10 because it's, I guess I would give it more because now that I know what it's about, rather than the fact that it was supposed to be a mermaid. It's not a mermaid, right? So anyway, so as a wedding gift, telling them to sell it and take the money. Instead, Marina wants to fix it up and keep it, right? but the Rusalka has not gone away in our castle. I kind of think that it's like they shouldn't have called it mermaid. You know, the translation just doesn't work. So here's what my dad too wrote. Like this is a you know, the dude on IMDb, right? Or the person on just, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I'm just gonna go with my dad too, right? So one of the reviewers, right? That's the first to top reviewer. So, you know, so I gave quoted reference. So let's start with the badly translated title. Where's a mermaid? There isn't one, right? The title character is a Rusalka, not a mermaid in any Western understanding of the word. Rusalki are I hope that's how it's spelled. I mean, pronounced Rusalki, are the damned souls of girls who committed suicide by drowning, typically because they were pregnant out of wedlock or abandoned or rejected by the father. Such a girl becomes a rotting half fish, half woman, hideous in appearance, inhabiting ponds and rivers, not the ocean, who tries to lure a young man to their death. They can shapeshift to appear beautiful or take the form of a living person. They're vengeful, evil, capable of sorcery, and dangerous. That's what I mean, like with supernatural, right? Magic, supernatural, stuff like that. So, and dangerous. Don't think Ariel in a clamshell bra. Think carp zombies, right? So, you know, it's just, you know, some crazy stuff happens, right? And it's and here's the weird thing. I was like, oh, it's over, and they're like, next thing, all right? I wasn't expecting. It's the next thing. I'm like, what? It's not over yet. Oh, it's the next thing. I was like, come on. How many more scary moments I'm gonna have? Like, you know, because it felt like it was so well done. You were like really waiting for it to like, this must be it. Because yeah, but no, it just keeps going, and like it was so much fun. And it not keeps going in the sense of like it's too long and that I wish it was over. But the sense is like, oh, I'm satisfied with it. And then it's like, next beat, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied with it. Next thing was like, okay. So yeah, it's a really cool, it's a really, really, really good not a mermaid, but a really good mythology horror, right? Slavic. So if you haven't, excuse me, so if you haven't seen Russian Slavic horror, this is a really good opportunity to be introduced to it, right? And I think it's really cool. So Rusalka, Lake of the Dead is just awesome. Just don't think mermaid, right? Just don't think mermaid, and you'll be good.